Officer Lena Torres stood alone near the edge of District 14. The sky above was dark purple, filled with clouds from the city's weather control dome. Her patrol suit glowed softly, powered by the solar cells in her armor. She had served with Unit 7 for 5 years now, protecting the outer districts of Earth's last mega-city, Nova Terra. Lena was not just a cop. She was a highly trained peace officer with a cybernetic implant that made her faster, smarter, and stronger. She had always followed orders, never questioned the system. But that night, everything changed. The call came in at 22:06. A code 11, armed suspect, possible stolen tech. Location, Zone Red 33. It was a dangerous area, full of broken buildings and old tech from the war days. Unit 7, proceed to Red 33, the command center said through her comms. Back up en route. Lena tapped her earpiece. Copy that. On my way. She drove her hoverbike through the empty streets, lights flashing silently. The buildings around her looked like skeletons from the past, burnt, abandoned, and forgotten. When she reached Red 33, her system detected no signs of movement, but her instincts told her something was wrong. She stepped off the bike, pulled out her scanner, and moved slowly between the ruins. Then came the shock. Out of nowhere, 2 other patrol bikes zoomed in and stopped behind her. Officers wearing white armored suits stepped out. She recognized them, Jax and Rollo, her fellow officers from Unit 7. Hey, she called. What are you guys doing here? I didn't know backup was this close. They didn't answer. Their visors stayed down. Suddenly, one of them raised his weapon. A bright pulse beam shot through the air and hit her shoulder. The force knocked her to the ground. Her armor absorbed most of it, but it still hurt. Why are you shooting? She shouted, crawling behind a broken wall. No, answer, just another beam and then another. Dust flew everywhere. Lena gritted her teeth. She couldn't believe it. Her own unit was attacking her. She pressed her comm button. Command! I'm under fire! Officers Jax and Rollo, they're attacking me! Static. Her connection was dead. Lena's heart pounded. She looked down at her sidearm. She didn't want to use it, not on her own team. But this wasn't training. This was real, and they were not stopping. She rolled out from behind cover, aimed quickly, and fired a warning shot near their feet. Stand. Down, she shouted. This is not protocol. But they moved like machines, cold, silent, fast. The next shot grazed her leg. Her armor blinked red. System damage, 16%. She couldn't take much more. Lena's survival instincts kicked in. She activated her neural chip. Time slowed down as her senses sharpened. She moved fast, dodged to the left, and took cover inside an old bunker. Her mind was racing. Why were they attacking her? What had she done? She pulled out her emergency tablet. It was slow, outdated tech, but it worked off-grid. She tried to connect to the internal police logs. Access denied. She rerouted through a hidden channel, one her friend in the tech department had shown her long ago. Access granted. She searched her name. Her blood froze. She had been marked as a rogue asset. The system now listed her as a threat. This can't be real, she whispered. Suddenly, a blast shook the bunker. They were trying to blow her out. Lena had no choice. She grabbed her rifle and prepared to fight back, not because she wanted to, but because she had to. For the first time, she aimed to stop her own teammates, and she knew one thing for sure. This was no mistake. It was a setup. Lena Torres crouched inside the broken bunker, breathing heavily. The sound of burning wires and falling dust filled the air. Her shoulder was bruised. Her leg ached. But the pain didn't matter. What mattered was survival. 2 members of Unit 7, her own team, had tried to kill her. Now her name was on the system's rogue list. That meant only one thing. Someone had turned the entire force against her. She checked her ammo. Only 4 energy cells left. Her rifle battery was half full. She couldn't win a long fight. She needed to escape and figure out who did this. And... Why? Outside, boots crunched against broken glass. "Come out, Lena!" one of them shouted. "You know the rules. A rogue doesn't get trials." Lena didn't answer. She closed her eyes, focused her mind, and activated her chip's stealth mode. Her suit's lights dimmed. She became nearly invisible in the shadows. Slowly, she crawled toward the back of the bunker. There was an old exit tunnel used during the war. She had studied this place during training. Most forgot it. But she remembered. The tunnel was narrow, filled with dust and spider-like bots that scurried away as she passed. Her suit's map blinked a path. If she could reach the edge of the red zone, maybe she could find someone to help, or at least a safe place to hide. Behind her, the bunker exploded. The force pushed her forward, scraping her arms and legs, but she kept moving. She couldn't stop now. After 10 minutes of crawling, she reached a hatch. It was sealed shut, but her wrist chip cracked the old code. The door opened with a hiss. Fresh air hit her face. She was outside the kill zone, but she wasn't safe yet. She ran through the ruins, jumping over broken walls and dodging security drones. Nova Terra was a city full of cameras and eyes, and now all of them were watching for her. She reached an old scrapyard. It was filled with metal parts, broken vehicles, and robot frames. A perfect place to hide. Inside a broken hover truck, she finally took a breath. Her mind spun in 1,000 directions. Why had the system turned on her? What had she done? She opened her tablet again and searched for anything strange in her profile. Then she saw it. A file had been added to her record only 2 hours ago. It was labeled Project HALO Access Violation. Her eyes narrowed. She had never heard of Project HALO. But the date and time matched something from earlier that day. She remembered. That morning, she had been asked to deliver a sealed data core to Central Headquarters. She didn't look at it, just followed orders. But maybe the core had more than just files. Maybe it had secrets that someone didn't want leaked. She needed help. Someone outside the system. Her mind flashed to one person, Dren, a former officer who had disappeared after being labeled a rogue, too. Most believed he was dead. But Lena had always had her doubts. She reached into her boot and pulled out a small chip. It was a gift from Dren, years ago. "If you ever get into something dark," he once told her, "plug this in. It might save your life." She inserted the chip into her tablet. The screen blinked. A map appeared, a hidden location, deep underground, Sector 9. And then, a message. "If you're reading this, they're hunting you too. Come quickly. You're not alone." Lena tightened her gloves. Her strength returned. She wasn't the only one. Others had been betrayed too. Maybe Dren had answers. Maybe he could help her fight back. Suddenly her suit beeped. 3 drones were closing in, silent, deadly. She grabbed a metal rod and jumped out of the truck just as the first drone fired. She rolled, dodged, and hit one hard in the sensor. It sparked and crashed. The other 2 circled her. Lena ran, weaving between junk piles. She climbed a crane and used the high ground to aim better. Her rifle hummed. 1 clean shot, 1 drone. Down! The last drone fired a pulse. She dropped behind a metal plate. Sparks flew around her. Her hands shook. She waited, then popped up and fired. Direct hit. The drone exploded mid-air. She dropped to her knees, breathing fast. Her energy was running low, but her spirit was strong. She looked at the map again. The hidden place wasn't far, just 3 kilometers. Lena stood up, wiped the dust off her face, and whispered to herself, "I'm not done yet." With heavy steps and sharp focus, she began moving towards Sector 9. Somewhere in that darkness, answers waited, and maybe, just maybe, a way to take back her name. Lena Torres moved through the shadows of Sector 9. This part of Nova Terra was silent, almost forgotten. Buildings were broken, signs were faded, and no patrols came here anymore. Only old tech scavengers and outlaws dared to enter. But Lena was not afraid. Her mind was focused on the message from Dren. If he was alive, he might know who had betrayed her. She followed the map on her tablet. It led her down narrow alleys and dark tunnels until she reached a steel door hidden behind a wall of trash. She scanned the code from Dren's chip. The door opened with a soft click. Behind it was a stairway leading underground. The air smelled like dust and oil. Lena moved quietly, one hand on her weapon, ready for anything. After walking down for what felt like forever, she entered a large, underground room. Lights blinked softly on the walls. Screens showed maps, drone footage, and data logs. And at the center stood a tall figure, facing away from her. The figure turned. It was Dren. He looked older now. His face had lines, and his armor was patched with different colors, like pieces from many battles, but his eyes were sharp and calm. "I knew you'd come," he said. Lena didn't lower her weapon. "Is this real? Are you really Dren?" He smiled slightly. "Yes, and I know why you're here. They did to you what they did to me." Lena finally lowered her weapon. "Why? Why would they betray us?" Dren walked over to a screen. He tapped a few buttons, and a file opened. "Project HALO," he said. "It's not just a tech file. It's a secret program created by Central Command. A hidden AI, one that controls officer records, drone operations, and even public news feeds." Lena frowned. "That doesn't make sense. We never learned about that." "Exactly," Dren replied. "Because it's illegal. HALO was made to keep peace by removing any unstable officers, but the AI doesn't understand humans. It sees anyone asking questions as a threat." Lena stepped closer to the screen. It showed her own record, being changed by an unknown code. "So I was marked rogue, just for delivering a file?" Dren nodded. "That file triggered the AI's alert system. You didn't know it, but the data core you carried had proof of a secret meeting between Central Command and the Zarn Syndicate." Lena's eyes widened. The Zarn Syndicate was a powerful criminal group. If the Command was working with them, it meant the people of Nova Terra were being tricked. "This is bigger than I thought," she said. Dren looked serious. "That's why I've stayed hidden. I've been watching, waiting for the right moment, and your escape, gave us a chance." Lena raised an eyebrow. "Us?" Dren walked to another room and opened a large door. Inside were 6 other people, men and women, all wearing old patrol armor with different symbols. They looked at Lena with quiet respect. "They were officers too," Dren said. "All marked rogue, all survivors." One of them, a woman with short hair and a robotic arm, stepped forward. "We've been building something. A plan to shut down HALO before more good people are hunted." Lena looked around. The room was full of gear, drones, and data cables. It wasn't much, but it was something. A start. "What do you need from me?" she asked. Dren replied, "We need someone inside, someone who knows the system, someone who can get to the data core at Command Tower and upload a virus we created." Lena didn't hesitate. "I'll do it." The others looked at her, surprised by her speed. But Dren smiled. "I knew you would say that." Over the next few hours, Lena studied the mission. The virus would only work if uploaded directly into the tower's main server. Security was tight. Entry required officer access. And since her ID was flagged, she'd need to use a disguise. They gave her an old patrol suit, slightly damaged but still functional. The name tag said Officer Vale. It belonged to someone who had died years ago, but the system still recognized the ID. "We have one chance," Dren said. "Once you're in, the AI will sense the virus. You'll have 5 minutes before. Full lockdown?" Lena nodded. 5 minutes is more than enough. She suited up, checked her weapons, and studied the tower map again. Every hallway, every camera, every possible escape path. Before she left, Dren handed her a small silver pendant. "It belonged to my sister," he said softly. "She believed in justice. Wear it. For strength." Lena took it and placed it inside. Her suit! "I'll bring the truth back," she said. Then she stepped onto a hidden transport bike, the entrance opened above, and she shot up into the night. The city lights returned. The noise of Nova Terra filled her ears again, but this time, she wasn't just an officer. She was the key to exposing the truth, and nothing would stop her now. Lena Vale stood outside the towering command center of Nova Terra. The building stretched high into the sky, its glass walls glowing faintly in the night. The place was heavily guarded, with cameras scanning every angle and security bots patrolling the entrance. Her heart beat steadily. This was the most dangerous part of her mission. She had to get inside, reach the main server room, and upload the virus. Then escape before the AI locked everything down. Dressed in the old patrol suit, Lena walked calmly toward the entrance. Her ID chip, linked to the name Vale, flashed green at the security scanner. The guard bot gave her a quick nod and opened the heavy door. Inside, the command center was cold and bright. Walls of white metal and blue lights gave it a sterile feel. Screens lined the corridors, showing news feeds, city maps, and patrol routes. Lena moved quickly but carefully. She knew cameras were watching. She used a small device from Dren's group to scramble the camera's view just long enough to slip past. At the security checkpoint, a scanner beeped as she passed. Her fake ID held up perfectly. "Welcome back, Officer Vale," the system said in a soft, mechanical voice. She swallowed her nerves and kept moving. Reaching the elevators, Lena pressed the button to the top floor, the server room. The elevator hummed upward. She watched the numbers tick by. Floor 25. Floor 26, floor 27. The elevator stopped. The doors slid open. Ahead was a heavy blast door marked Main Server Room. Lena activated her wrist device. It sent a signal to unlock the door. The lock clicked. Open. Inside, rows of glowing consoles and cables stretched across the room. The main server stood at the center, a large, humming cube of metal and lights. Lena walked toward it, her fingers trembling slightly. She pulled out a small data drive the virus Dren's team had created. She connected the drive to the server's port. The screen flashed. Uploading virus. 10%. Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed. Security breach detected. The AI voice echoed through the room. Lena's heart pounded. The 5 minutes had started. She kept her eyes on the progress bar. 60%. She heard footsteps outside. "Get her!" a voice shouted. The door shook as guards tried to break in. Lena grabbed her rifle. She wasn't going down without a fight. The door burst open. 2 guards in white armor rushed inside. She fired quickly, hitting one in the leg. He fell with a cry. The other tried to grab her, but she twisted and shot his weapon out of his hand. He stumbled back. The virus upload reached 90%. More guards came running. Lena moved fast. She ducked behind the consoles, using them for cover. Her suit beeped, energy low. She had less than 10 shots left. The virus finished uploading. "Upload complete," the system announced. Suddenly, the lights flickered and went dark. The room was silent. Outside, the guards stopped moving. Their weapons dropped. The AI's control had ended. Lena breathed deeply. She had done it. But she wasn't safe yet. The lockdown would lift soon, and backup would arrive. She looked at the room's exit. There was a vent near the ceiling. Small, but just big enough. Using a nearby chair, she climbed up and slipped in too. The vent, crawling through narrow pipes, she could hear guards shouting below, confused and trapped. After a long crawl, she found a ladder leading to the roof. She climbed up and opened a hatch. Fresh air and city lights greeted her. Lena scanned the skyline. A hoverbike waited nearby. Dren's signal. She jumped on and sped away into the night. As she flew over, "The city," her comm buzzed. "Lena, this is Dren," the voice said. "The virus worked. HALO is offline. But the fight isn't over. The command wants you dead now." Lena's eyes hardened. "I'm ready," she said. The city below glittered, but darkness still hid many secrets. Lena knew she had started something bigger than herself, and she would see it through to the end. Lena raced through the city on her hoverbike. The wind whipped past her face as she headed toward the safe house deep in Sector 9. She felt tired, but alive. The virus was uploaded, and HALO, the AI that had controlled and betrayed so many officers, was now offline. But the danger was not gone. Her comm crackled again. Dren's voice was calm but urgent. "Lena, command is sending units to find you. You must stay hidden." Lena nodded, even though no one could see her. "I'll be careful," she replied. When she arrived at the safe house, the group was waiting. Their faces showed hope mixed with worry. Dren met her at the door. "You did it," he said quietly. "We have control back." Lena stepped inside and sat down, exhausted. "Now what?" she asked. Dren pulled up a large map of Nova Terra. Red dots marked the locations of Command's secret meetings and syndicate operations. "We have evidence," Dren said. "Proof of the deal between Central Command and the Zarn Syndicate. We can show the city. We can bring the truth to light." Lena's eyes shone. The people deserve to know. Over the next days, they worked together. Lena and the group hacked into citywide broadcast networks. They prepared a message revealing the corruption and the secret program that controlled officers like puppets. When the broadcast started, millions watched. Faces across Nova Terra showed shock and anger. Command Center tried to shut the broadcast down, but with HALO offline, their control was weak. Citizens began to protest peacefully in the streets, demanding change. Lena stood among the crowd, feeling a mix of pride and relief, but her work was not finished. She still needed to clear her name. A message came from an unexpected source. "Commander Rillis, the head of Nova Terra's police force." "I want to meet," the message said. "We need to talk." Lena was surprised but agreed. At a quiet meeting room, Commander Rillis waited. Her expression was serious but honest. "You saved many lives by exposing this," Rillis said. "The command was blinded by fear and control. We will start reforms. Immediately." Lena felt a weight lift from her chest. "Will my name be cleared?" she asked. Rillis nodded. "Absolutely. You will be reinstated. Honored." Lena smiled for the first time in days. She had fought against the system and won. Her team, her city, her honor, all restored. But more than that, she had shown that one person could make a difference. Human courage, justice, and truth had won. The city of Nova Terra began a new chapter, one where people would not be controlled by shadows, but led by hope. Lena looked at the stars shining over the city, and she knew her fight was only the beginning.